Santa made me cry, and I want to share it with you. Thank you for listening to Full Spectrum Podcast. I'm Stephanie Stevens, and it all started this morning when I took my adult son with autism to the winter market. Now, I took him to the winter market because he absolutely loves getting a little handful of things there. Plus, I knew Santa was going to be there, and I knew that would be fun for him. So my morning unraveled with a series of chaotic events with a family member, and on top of that, I got almost zero sleep the night before. I didn't even have a chance to take a shower because I had to run out the door in the morning to deal with this family member's issue. And by the time I was ready to take my son to the winter market, I was disheveled. I was tired. Frankly, all I wanted to do was crawl back into bed, sleep for a little while, and then start the day over. Yet, because I had made that promise and that commitment to him, and because many of us parents with special needs children are operating to some degree on some unconscious level of guilt and always wanting to do whatever we can to make their worlds and their lives as wonderful as possible, I was just not going to fail in meeting my commitment to my son. So off we went. And sure enough, it was crowded. There was loud music. There were tons of people. It was noisy. And if you are a parent with a son or daughter with autism, you know how sensory overload goes. It starts producing some anxious behaviors and starts to spiral in some cases. Well, the line was long, but thank goodness my son did very, very well in light of it all. In fact, I was probably more edgy and antsy than he was. Nonetheless, we made it up to Santa. And in the meantime, I had friends who had come up to us and talked to us, and I shared a little bit about what was going on in my morning with them, and they shared hugs with me and shared their own stories of support. And to me, that was actually really a gift. But the icing on the cake was Santa. So we go up, we take pictures with Santa, messy hair and all. Like I said, I hadn't even had the chance to shower, so I had one of those low buns with hair hanging out all over, looking frayed. And oh well, I have the pictures to prove it. Nonetheless, Santa took pictures with us, and then he pulled my arm close to him and he whispered in my ear, "May I pray for you?" And I glanced up and I saw the very long line, and I saw the hundreds of eyeballs staring at us. And I said, "Absolutely." And he bowed his head and he got close to my ear and he prayed as an angel would have prayed. He prayed a prayer of blessing. He prayed a prayer of strength, of grace, of those who help others, also themselves being refreshed. And this was the part that really got me emotional, he prayed that those who carry extra burdens this season would be given the care, the compassion, and the strength of God to continue to carry on with grace. That's about it for me. I held it together long enough to thank him, of course. Thank you so much, Santa. Sounded odd hearing myself say it. And of course, boy, if you thought the stares and the eyeballs were curious before, they were real curious now. And again, I didn't care. I'm used to it. So my son and I walked off hand in hand, and I allowed myself a minute to get into the car, and then I let myself be a little emotional over the care and the kindness of a random act of kindness from a stranger. And I just have to say, I do believe that this is the way that God works. You know, the saying, God works in mysterious ways, and even through serendipitous ways, and even through chance meetings with friends, and even through going someplace where you actually didn't want to go. And you did it because you care for somebody else who depends on you to take them places because they can't do it for themselves, and it's not their fault. And so I just found that to be such a blessing. I want to go ahead now and I want to impart that to you. I want to gift that to you. I want to pray that very beautiful prayer by that very wonderful, grace-filled man who was playing the role of Santa. I want that to wash over you and I want you to receive that extra measure of grace and strength. Those of you who carry burdens for others, may you be infused this season with an extra measure of kindness and compassion, like I met today. Random acts of kindness and strangers who turn out to be angels. May they surround you. And as you are strengthened and comforted and given an extra measure of grace, may that be evident to everyone for whom you are caring for and blessing. So much love to you. Thank you so much for listening.